You're asking me to...
You cannot, literally cannot.
I can't do that because you're asking me to imagine if something is more real than me. No, we can't even perceive our entire selves like accurately objective beings.
That's not what I'm asking for. I'm asking.
No, you are asking me to perceive.
You have the perspective.
Yes,
okay.
if I can perceive something is more real than myself. No, that's impossible for me. A pig and a human might perceive a rock as being the same thing, but that doesn't mean that the pig becomes a human.
The rock doesn't magically turn into a tree, right? Just because it's being perceived by a pig, right? Does that make sense?
No.
Yeah, okay, listen. Dude, okay, the game literally spends the entire time like detailing out the different relationships and all the different bonds that Verso develops with the others, right? And it also details like the love that Gustav had with Mael. Why the did the game do that if in the end the conclusion you came to was that they are not sentient or not worthy of moral consideration?
Because they're fake. Because it's all in a painting.
Okay, why?
Why is it? I don't know. Because they decided to paint them. Because they were.
Okay, is a child not worthy of moral consideration because the mom technically created the child?
The child is not a creation of fiction. The child is a real human being.
That's what I'm saying. That's literally what I'm saying.
These so they birthed the canvas. How are they real?
Of the goddess, bro. How could you even call yourself a Final Fantasy fan if you haven't even played through at the end of every single Final Fantasy game, you fight a god. The god constantly tries to purge humanity because humanity is not worthy of moral consideration to the god. How could you play so many Final Fantasy games but not get that fundamental like moral message?
How does that have anything? Yeah, but you are the humanity that is fighting against that. Like if you were playing from the perspective, I guess, of the characters and you disagreed, but that's also like the thing there is that there's a perspective to disagree on. Right? Like, is humanity worth living or not is a thing that you can have a disagreement on. In this, there is no disagreement. The painting is fake. It is a painting, definitionally.
Oh my god. That's like saying the Earth is fake accordingly to the Big Bang from the perspective of the god that created the Big Bang.
It might be from the perspective of some greater god, but we don't know that, and we can't say that.
Yeah, okay, that's great. So then, hypothetically speaking, you're saying that if God shows up tomorrow and says, oh yeah, everyone is literally fake and whatever the fuck, are you saying that all the bonds that you have made throughout your entire life has been fake? Like if you discovered that tomorrow that the world was an entire simulation?
I don't think I can have that consideration. I don't think I can do that. You're asking me to.
You cannot. You literally cannot.
I can't do that because you're asking me to imagine if something is more real than me. No, we can't even perceive our entire selves like accurately because we're subjective beings.
That's not what I'm asking for. I'm asking.
No, you are asking me to perceive.
You have the perspective.
Yes. Okay. If I can perceive something is more real than myself, no, that's impossible for me. If this game was told from the perspective of like Verso or Gustav or whatever, then maybe arguably, although it's harder for them because there are parts of Verso, I guess, that were real. But no, I can't perceive something more real than myself. But if I knew that there was something 100%, actually, hold on. No, actually, okay, I would. If it came to me that my sister came to me and we went through the same adventure, and then I were to find out, actually, I died to some crazy alt-writer that assassinated me.
Real? Hold on. You said more real. What does more real mean to you? I'm just curious.
Like exists in reality and I'm a fictitious creation in somebody else's mind, like everybody in the canvas is.
Okay, but fictitious, what does that mean? Does that mean that they are still able to think?
Fictitious? I don't know if they can think or not, but fictitious isn't created by somebody else.
Do they have rationale? Like now, are they able to logic and reason their way through puzzles or have emotions or?
A computer can logic and reason its way through puzzles better than a lot of humans can. I don't think Deep Blue or whatever is human.
Yeah, but I'm talking about on the same level as you or me, right? Does that make sense? Like, what fundamentally makes these paintings, like these like painted humans, any different from you or me?
Ontology. They're painted humans. They're paintings. They're metaphysically a different thing. They're not...
but the origin, but the origin, like, is different from what the end state is, right?
I don't think you can become human. I think you just are or you aren't. These paintings will never become real. They can't leave the canvas, can they? If I could leave the canvas, then maybe.
Yeah, okay, but from their perspective, it's the painted world that's real to them, right?
Sure, from their perspective, yes.
They have the capacity to actually reason through things and love and stuff. They have literally Aline literally painted them out to be identical to a human being. Like literally. How could you argue that they're not worthy of
From their perspective, yes, that is a thing that you can consider. From their perspective. but we're not considering it from their perspective. We have more information than that. Their perspective is not real in the same way that Harry Potter's perspective of himself can be whatever J.K. Rowling writes it out to be.
You consider a pig to be less like you consider a pig to have less moral consideration, right?
Sure.
Than a human being, right? Okay, yes. Okay, we agree on that. But if a pig perceives a rock to be a rock, does that mean that perception is less real than we perceive the same rock to be a rock?
I have no idea. I don't know if I can even parse that question.
The answer is yes, okay? Just like how a pig looks at a rock and like goes like, "Oh my god, this is a rock." And you as a human look at a rock and you're like, "Oh my god, this is a rock," right? Even though a being of less moral consideration is perceiving the same item, you're perceiving the item as that same fucking item, right? The rock doesn't magically turn into a tree, right? Just because it's being perceived by a pig, right? Does that make sense?
No?
Okay, all right. You're just Nah, you're smarter than this.
What? No, what do you mean? No, you're gonna have to explain. I'm sorry. All of chat's gonna be throwing up question marks because nobody knows what the fuck you just said.
Bro, you're smarter than this.
Nobody has any idea what the fuck you just said. You have to do that one more time.
Is water perceived in the same way by a pig the way that it is by a human, even though a pig is worthy of less moral consideration?
I don't know, but we're not talking about a third party being perceived by the painted ones and by the real life people. We're talking about the painted ones themselves. A pig and a human might perceive a rock as being the same thing, but that doesn't mean that the pig becomes a human.
We're not even there yet. All I'm trying to establish, hold on, this is just a simple yes or no question, okay? All I'm trying to establish is, can something be perceived in the same way even though it's by a being of less moral consideration? This is a yes or no question. I need you to answer this.
Maybe? I don't know. That's a really difficult question.
The answer is yes, oh my god. Bro, this is like step one. How are you this bad? Bro, dude.
Okay, I'll hesitantly answer yes, but you have no concept. You don't even know if they concept.
You're gonna call it agua? Is that what you're gonna say?
No, you have no idea how they conceptualize things. I don't know. Like, does a dog conceptualize time and space the way we do? When they enter an elevator, do they conceive of it going like up and down, or do they just think that like it's a portal that teleports them to another place on the map?
I'm talking about an elevator right now. I'm talking about water.
Sure, but I don't know how they perceive. They might just perceive water as a thing that when they slurp it, it makes them feel better. I actually don't know the answer to the question, but we can say for sake of your argument, sure, they can say maybe they can. Sure.
Okay, so if a pig feels thirsty and it slurps water, it makes them feel better, and we feel thirsty and we slurp water and it makes us feel better, is that perception not at least so similar as to which the differences are so obstinate or like so vague or like doesn't matter to the point where we do perceive water as being water and we can both drink it?
Sure, for the sake of this argument, I can say yes, I guess.
Okay, all right. So could you say that even if we are able to perceive that, can you say that maybe there's a hypothetical world where me and you can perceive love in the same way that, you know, a very sentient AI could like perceive love if they have the same exact...
You're not perceiving it though, you're conceiving it. This is not an external thing that is being observed, it's a thing that's being generated from within you.
Generated within? Okay, explain that. What do you mean by that?
Love is not like a thing that you observe like independent of yourself. It's a feeling that you generate.
It's a feeling that you generate. But hypothetically, if you were to like copy and paste the human, right? And this copy and pasted human is called human copy paste. That human copy paste with the same exact biological circuitry, could they still not experience love in the same way? Yes or no?
I imagine if it was the exact same, then they would, sure.
Capacity for it. Yeah, the capacity for it. Okay. All right. If that is true, and let's just say the painted humans are exactly what I just described, the human copy pastes, could they simply also not experience the same love as well?
Yeah, I guess they could.
Okay, all right, I'm so glad. Thank you. Okay, if it's true that the painted humans can experience love, is it not too unreasonable as to say the painted humans can also experience similar ways of reasoning out things and similar ways of thinking, or at least it's like indiscernible from a human in the outside world, the Sandre family?
Yeah, probably.
So therefore, are they not worthy of the same moral consideration? For those who come after.
No.
Okay, you're stupid. You're just so, oh my god, you're so bad, Faith. On God, okay?
On
God.
God.
I led you down the path. I led you down the path. And you see it in front of you, but like you refuse to, but I just can't. I can't. Nah, this is crazy. That's crazy, dude. On God.
Wow, you guys have too much.
Dude,
You guys are way
you
too
are not
solipsistic.
like
No, you're just solipsistic.
so
There's
stupid.
nothing
You're
in
so
your
stupid.
mind. A human
God.
can be like, I guess, is it?
Such an easy thing. It's such a, the game literally spends the entire time.
Okay, wait. So then wait, wait. Okay, wait. So then I just want to make sure that you. Okay, sure. You should bite the bullet on this then, right? So if you had to choose between killing 2 people in the painted world versus saving 1 human in the real world, you should choose the 2 painted people, right?
Like 2 versus 1. Of course, I'm gonna save the 2 people. Yeah, of course. Are you kidding me?
Okay.
Fuck that motherfucker in the real world. Are you kidding?
Okay,
Dude,
there you are. There it is.
Rape and kill the entire Desandre family if it means saving the painted world and all of its fucking inhabitants and restoring Lumiere. Okay, I would restore.
That's
Lumiere.
cool. I'm glad.
It's over.
I'm glad we could hear it.
So to play on that piano,
Good.
I'm gonna force Verso to play on the piano and Mael to become corrupted if it means saving Lumiere and all of its sentient inhabitants. It's not even a question. Are you actually fucking out of your mind?
Okay, that's good. I'm glad.
Wait, have you not played a single Final Fantasy game?
I don't know
A
why
single
you think
Final
Final Fantasy has
game
anything to do with this. Final Fantasy has nothing to do. I don't know what the.
It ends up with fighting God. It always ends
Yes,
up
I know there was like epic YouTube video with fighting God, and I know that everybody loves that fucking YouTube video, but it doesn't play into any of this here. It has nothing to do with this.
I know what you're talking about. Okay, nice, good one. Yes, nice, good one. Yes, keep going. Yes, YouTube video, epic YouTube video. Yeah. What YouTube video was it? What YouTube video did you say I watched?
The one that is about like I don't know. I didn't watch it, but I saw the title of it, and everybody was fucking pushing on like Reddit, where it was like fighting everybody and fighting God.
Okay, great. So you're just
Spoiler alert: every JRPG ends with you fighting God because the stakes are always like the super fucking highest.
And you're projecting down to me, okay?
What?
That was a video you watched, okay? Probably in your free time because you're bored and you have nothing to do, okay? You have no friends left. But that's something you're projecting onto me.
Okay.
You see that?
Well, you're just fully solipsistic. That's fine. Human life has no value to you.
Where is this coming from? What do you mean human life has no value to what?
I said human life has no value. You can just paint infinite numbers of people.
I was like, what the fuck? Yeah, go ahead. Human life? Well, but the painted human are like the exact same as the real humans. That's the entire point. You agree with me. You literally agree with me. How could you say this?
But they're not the exact same because they're in a painting. They can't go to the real world. If you wanted to draw one distinction, you could just say that's the difference, is that the real people can go in and out of the paintings and the painted people can never leave the painting. Why not?
Is an identical twin?
Wait a second. Did I just ask a question and not get an answer? Anybody have any idea what just happened there?
Okay. Ask your question.
Why is it that the real person can go in and out of the painting, but a painted person can't leave the painting? What's the difference there?
Yeah, but that's not how you define it, okay?
No, I'm just asking a question. What's the difference?
It's just that's irrelevant. That's irrelevant.
That's irrelevant? It's irrelevant they can't fucking
question.
leave the painting.
Okay? The difference is that the Desandre family, yes, they're God, okay? But that doesn't mean that they are worthy of, like, who are you to determine that they're worthy of more moral consideration than the humans?
Well, the fact that they can leave the painting and the other people can't,
that's so
really the exact same?
Okay. What if there was an outside world? What if there was an outside Desandre family?
You're asking me,
they painted
you're doing the thing where you're asking me to imagine a place that's more real than real. I can't imagine something more real than real. I can't do that.
But I can.
You can.
Okay, dude.
If hypothetically, I already answered your hypothetical. If my sister walked in the room, so I can't answer the question because you know that you completely owned on that point. Yeah, go ahead. Switch to the next thing. So you're on to the point. If my sister walked in and said, "Steven, you and I, you died a long time ago, and I made this painting, and mom and dad are trying," I would probably say, "I need to kill myself because you need to go back to the real world." That's what I would do.
Well, you would kill. Okay, all right. I mean, if you say that, then fine. It is what it is. You fight the bullet.
I'm already dead.
But I would.
And now my sister is gonna die too.
If I discovered that I was already dead, okay, and I was just a ghost, and I was just living my previous self, and apparently I was keeping like one of my siblings from returning back to the real world. Dude, fuck that motherfucker. What the fuck, dude? Of course I'm gonna keep living as a ghost. Okay, fuck you. All right, I'm enjoying my life. Okay, and from my perception is more valuable than that random ass motherfucker third party perception. Okay, I'm sorry that you painted me. I guess.
Jesus, wow. That's quite the nihilistic view of the world.
Town of Lumiere, bro. That's like a bunch of sentient life. That's a lot of people you're killing for the Desandre family. That's like for one motherfucker. We're not even talking about like one for one.
Wait, extension is in like they can make choices and stuff?
an entire town of Lumiere. It's the entire town of Lumiere versus one pathetic, selfish, like fucking
The millions of citizens of Hogwarts.
pathetic Desandre.
All of those magicians, all of those wizards and
Wait,
witches.
where's this Hogwarts thing coming from?
All the people in the world of Hogwarts that J.K. Rowling wrote about. So many of them.
Wait.
What?
Okay, I'm not using that analogy. That analogy is stupid.
Why? It maps on 1-to-1. You just don't like it because it crushes your argument.
How does it map on 1-to-1? Obviously, if J.K. Rowling creates and if she was a writer, oh, I get it, because she's a writer from that universe. But like, if she was a writer and she writes like things into existence, right? And they're written into existence and they have sentient thought, as in they can converse with us and fall in love with us and we can have sex with them, right? And we can form romantic relationships with them, right? Is that not in any way like
if you really want to get a doll, you could make the sickest fucking Harry Potter thing.
But that's literally the entire AI debate, right? Like, where do we draw the line at like sentient like fucking emergence? Like the emergence of like sentient traits and reasoning and stuff like that. This is a complicated question.
Yeah, I agree,
right?
It's complicated, but the answer can't be. Yeah, I understand.
But
Yes,
the thing is,
tell us. It's all conscious. Yeah.
But the thing is that you don't have to answer that question because the game gives it to you. You don't have to answer that question because the game literally says, "Oh, the painted humans are like exactly the same as the humans."
They're not exactly the same. They can't leave the painting. They're not real. They're not real.
Yeah, but that's not how we define shit. That's literally not how it's like we don't go like.
Oh, so in the game, when the tear is being forced from her at the end, and Renoir is like crying as he's forced to dance like a monkey at the piano. Oh, true.
Yes.
That's true.
Oh, okay.
True. They have so much free will, right? The same as humans. So much free will when a totally fake world is being created around them to force all of them to be happy. So much free will when her husband is brought back to life, right? So much free will.
Have you ever watched iRobot, Will Smith?
Yeah.
Okay. Would you say that the robots are at least worthy of some degree of moral consideration?
Yeah, because they're in the real world, not the painted world.
I'm not. I'm not.
So the difference is the environment. So remember that episode of Rick and Morty where there's like a simulated universe inside another simulated universe?
Yeah.
Okay. Would you say that a sentient life in the Rick and Morty simulated universe is less valuable than someone living in the outside universe?
Yes.
Okay. I mean, if you bite that bullet, I just don't know how I can argue past that because that's ridiculous.
Considering
that's,
that you're biting the bullet of like two painted people are worth more than one real life human.
I know you're trying to get that. Listen, you probably feel so cool right now. You probably feel so cool right now.
You're like, yeah, I would totally sacrifice 500 real life humans to save 501 painted humans.
You're like, oh my god, it's so cool. I'm so fucking cool. I'm so Giga Chad and badass. Oh my god, I don't make any facial expressions because that's how cool I am. I'm Destiny. See, I'm Stephen Bennell II. I don't have any emotions, and I don't go to therapy. So therefore, I get to say ridiculous things like this to Giga Chad my way through everything. Yeah, keep telling me.
Holy projection.
What do you mean, holy projection? I go to therapy. Do you?
Yeah, but you just projected.
Yeah, right.
I do. I don't need to because I'll sacrifice 500 painted therapists to save my one real life.
Yeah, armchair psychology. Yeah, that's right. Armchair psychology me. Yeah, that's right. Armchair psychology me.
If J.K. Rowling came up to you and she was like, you can either murder one human being or in the 8th Harry Potter book, I'm going to genocide. I'm going to genocide the whole...
J.K. Rowling is
So this is just a matter of sentience to you then? It is just a matter of sentience. There's no difference between a human being and a sufficiently sentient...
the entire debate. I led you down the golden path, but you are led astray, okay?
You're not that's not the focus of this game. The focus of this game is not does AI sufficiently match the complexities of human beings, therefore does it get some moral consideration. The game is the theme of the game is whether or not you can infinitely hide from your grief and the miserable of your real existence in some fictitious world that makes you feel fake happy. And is there a difference between fake happiness versus real misery?
Yeah. The game is about the cycle of grief. Yeah, of course. But it's also like a game about how the Desandres are selfish motherfuckers, right?
No.
Because they play with sentient life. Okay. They play with sentient lives in order to satisfy their own means. Like even Mayel trying to achieve her own ending is selfish in a way because she's not doing it out of like care and respect for sentient life. She's doing it for her own happiness, right? For her own copium. Yeah?
Yes.
Thanks.
Yeah?
Like that's the critique of Mayel. That's the valid critique of Mayel. But regardless, regardless, is it
Wait,
not
no,
good
hold on.
that
The valid
entire
critique of
Lumiere
Mael is not that
being
she's
hacked?
torturing the painted fucking people. The valid critique is that she's torturing her real life family that's now going to have to abandon her to death.
You fuck her real life family, dude.
Oh my
her
God.
Real life, I'm sorry. Dude, the real life family in their pursuance of the cycle of grief, because each of the family members represent like a different stage of grief, okay? If you haven't noticed, because you're like blind. Since every single family, they represent different stages of grief, but other sentient beings shouldn't be responsible to carry that burden for them. That's ridiculous. That's the entire point. That's what Verso even believes. That's literally what Verso even believes. But he doesn't care about that either. He's like, oh yeah, we should not be able to suffer. We should not suffer through the cycles of grief of the Desandres, right? Like, not even he agrees with you.
Who agrees with me?
Verso. Not even Verso agrees with you.
Verso literally wanted her to end the painting.
Yeah, because he prefers to kill other sentient life. Like, he's evil. He's
No, he
literally
wants to
evil.
That's the take. He wanted to die because he'd already died, and there was a piece of his soul being kept alive forever.
This is so crazy. Hold on. The reason why you picked Verso is because you look like him, okay? And you're beginning to have gray hairs, and that's why you picked him, okay? Listen, Verso, okay? Verso. Why do you take Verso's position so seriously if he's the painted version, if he's not even real, if he's not worthy of moral consideration on the same level of Desandre? Technically, isn't Mael like a Desandre, and she is like the real actual person?
No,
Why
because
wouldn't
if
you choose Mael
anything,
then?
because
Mael is the real actual person. Why would you even pick Verso if Verso was like a fake ass motherfucker?
Because one, Verso is not completely fake. There's a small figment of the real Verso's soul that's still represented there. Number one. Number two, because he's making the sound, true, and correct decision to sacrifice himself. He's not acting in his own self-interest like Mael is. He's acting against his own self-interest because he realizes what is actually right, which is the preservation of real human life. And two, if we're going by what real people are saying, then we would go by what Clair, Renoir, and the mom are doing, and not just what the one Mael is doing.
I have to correct you, okay? So that is not, so even though that's technically like, a small part of Verso's soul, I don't even know if that's true, just mainly because Verso, the actual person, burned alive in the fire, okay? So I don't even know how the fuck he's supposed to impart a part of his soul inside of that painting.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, my bad. You just didn't pay attention to any of the game, my bad. So the reason why this canvas is so important is because it's the only thing left they have that has any part of Verso's soul in it. That's why the mom got obsessed a little bit with it as well, and why she came in and painted everybody too, and then the daughter went in after.
Bro, I would enslave Verso to keep painting if it means saving Lumiere. Yeah, of course. Would you not enslave one black person to save like 5 million white people?
They're all the same people. They're all on the same level. You're talking about saving fake people.
I would enslave that one black person. I would enslave that black person in an instant if it means saving the lives of 5 million people. Okay? That is the difference between you and me. I'm willing to take the right choice. This is the right thing to do.
Uh-huh.
But you can, listen, we can both, you know what we can do? We can both blame Aline for painting the humans in the first place. Because it's like, why do you give birth to a bunch of children that you're unable to care for, right? Why do you give birth to a bunch of children that you don't have the financial means to care for, right? That is the apt analogy, no? Because she created them in the first place, which is why it created this entire predicament in the first place, no?
That's just not what's being considered in this game. That's not what is up for consideration, is the emergent property of sentience from a fictitious creature. It's whether or not you should.
That's the entire debate. That's
but you're using an inappropriate vehicle. It would be like debating whether or not like interracial marriages is moral or not, and then using Harry Potter as the medium through which you discuss that. I don't think this game's discussion is necessarily supposed to be centered around.
Back to Harry Potter. I already told you the Harry Potter analogy.
You can make it through anything. I'm just saying that the game's central point is whether or not you should be able to escape grief indefinitely in a fictitious world. And I think you're supposed to consider it from the perspective of Mael. That's why it gives the argument of like...
You keep saying fictitious.
Because it is definitionally fictitious. You can say that the fictitious world has all the same... It is fake. Yes?
It's real. It's a real world.
Okay, you're just retarded. Okay.
They painted a real world.
Do you think that this game is real? Wait. Do you think the game is real? Do you think the game is real? Do you think the game is real? The video game. No, I need you to hear your answers. Do you think the video game is real? Is the video game real? Is the video game real?
No, it's not real.
Okay, thank you. Just making sure.
Which is why I don't care if I shut it down. But they're not actually sentient, right?
I don't know. You don't know that, do you?
The universe. We're talking about in the universe, right? Otherwise, like, what is the point of considering anything? Like, because the Matrix is just a movie.
In the
and it's not
universe,
real,
it's also
we
not
don't
real.
have to
It's a
care
painting.
we don't have to care about whether or not it's
Painting.
a simulation or not. Like,
Painting.
there's no discussion to be had. There's no
Painting.
philosophy to be had for
Painting.
any movie. So
It's a painting, so it's not real. Matrix isn't a good comparison because there's real people
okay,
in the
you're right.
Matrix.
But hold on. It's a painting, and it's not real. But the thing is that it is real, right? Because it is not a painting.
It's a
It is
real
an
painting.
entire world.
It's They
They call
a
it a painting. They call it a painting to absolve themselves of the guilt that comes with it.
It's not a real world,
But
though.
in
It's a painted
actuality,
world.
It's an actual world. It's an actual world, though. It's an actual. What? You spend your entire time in it. How could you not say it's an actual world?
Because they can leave it. Because they can just walk out of it. They can just walk out. They can just look at the cameras and they can walk out and they can go to a different thing.
Oh my god.
What's the difference? Why can't the painted people go to the real world?
Because that's the God's realm. That's heaven.
Oh, so are the
why
gods
would-
are the gods the exact same thing as the other people?
Yeah, but just because we aren't able to reach Valhalla whenever we want to, it doesn't mean that we're any less human, right? Like,
Well,
are
does
you
it?
able to fly up into the clouds right now?
No,
A
but
god
I'm
can
not
fly
aware
up
of
into the
another
clouds.
human-like creature that can fly, and I can't.
Okay, that doesn't matter. Like, the awareness does not matter. You realize that, right? Like, that is a complete stupid point. That you just
No,
came
the
up
awareness
because
is
you know you're wrong.
the
You know
awareness
you're
is the
wrong.
only thing that matters. Because as far as I'm aware, this is as real as the world gets. There is no realer world.
Wrong.
Whereas in this place,
Wrong. The
they have
awareness does
a
not
they have
matter.
a
No,
painted
the
world
awareness
and a
does
real
not
world, and they can't go to the real world, can they?
Okay. When you eat a burrito, does the burrito taste any less burrito if God exists tomorrow and tells you that your entire simulation?
No, but the question isn't whether or not I have some
It
experience
still
or
tastes like a
sensation.
burrito.
The
It
question.
still tastes like a
Okay.
burrito. It's a
All right.
burrito. Okay. Oh wait, hold on. Do you remember that one scene from The Matrix where the guy says?
No, I think we have it.
I
We
want to
think
forget everything.
we have.
I want to forget everything, and ignorance is bliss, right?
The Matrix doesn't. It's not a good
Remember?
comparison because the Matrix
Oh my
literally
God.
is hooked up to real
it's
people.
Like it's literally the Matrix.
It's literally not. I'm sorry. Wait. How many real people are in the canvas? Every single person is a real person. Every single person is a real person. Every single person is a real person. Is that true? Every single person in the campus is a real person, like in the Matrix.
They are, yes.
Oh. So why can't they get out like they can in the Matrix?
Because what defines what is real or not?
In the
isn't
Matrix, it's the fact that they're
dependent
hooked up to a
on
real
whether
life
or
human
not they
being.
have
They're in a
I'm
computer
not
program.
letting
They're in
you
a computer
finish
program.
because you know you're wrong.
They're in a
You know
computer
you're wrong. You know
program.
you're wrong.
Computer program. They're not real. That's why they get disconnected.
That's why you're not letting me finish. That's
Okay.
why not. What is real is not dependent on the definition of them having a physical body in Valhalla, right? Because you and I, we could literally just be brains in a vat. This is a question that philosophers have tackled, all right? We for all as I know, we could be brains in a vat. And this is an entire simulation for our minds. But that doesn't mean that my PC is any less real, even if I found that out tomorrow. That doesn't mean anything I perceive is any less real. I can eat a bag of M&Ms and it will still taste sweet and saccharine, all right?
It's
Just
not. You
simply
keep
because it
going
has
back to
sugar
your
in it.
own experience.
Okay.
I understand. Okay, but so the question is then, if you had a sibling that showed up and you started to realize the world around you was not real, it was fake. And then the sibling's parent came in, and the parent was like, "I need you to self-delete because like you died a long time ago in an accident. You're a fragment that's left behind by whatever other world, and your sibling is about to die in this computer program. Like, we need to delete this computer program." You would say, "Nope, sorry." From my perspective, because the Skittles still taste good, I think that I'm just going to watch my sibling dying here with me because this world is just as real as whatever world you're talking about. It's all the same.
You realize by picking Versal's ending, you're technically.
Why is there no
also
answer to that question?
picking to
Wait, is everybody?
execute.
Did the Trump stuff bleed to everybody? Can you not answer that question? You would say yes. You could say yes and then give your next answer.
Sorry,
but you would say-
what's the question again? It was such a stupid question.
You didn't even
that
listen to what I
cheated
asked.
out.
Okay,
What's the question?
You're
What's the question?
alive.
Yeah, because it's stupid.
You're
'Cause it's
alive,
stupid. Yeah,
and your
go.
sibling,
Yeah, go ahead.
your sibling, okay, enters the room, and you start to realize the whole world around you is fake. But your sibling assures you, it's okay. I can make it seem like real. It's fine. And then your mom or dad or both come in, and then they're like, "Hey, just so you know, like you died in a horrible accident a long time ago, and your sibling is just in here because they miss you, and they're going to die if they stay in here in the real world as well." And they say, "We need to delete this world. Can you help us with that?" You would say, "No, actually,
No.
Okay.
Yes, I will say no.
Okay.
Do you know why? Is because I would prefer not to know that because the even.
No. You don't get to prefer not to know it. You already know it. You know it. You know it.
What are you talking about?
You don't get to
I said
prefer
no.
not to
I
know
answered
it.
your question.
You don't get to prefer not to know it. That defeats the whole hypothetical. You have to know it. You know it's not real.
Okay, then I know it. Then I move on with my life, knowing it. Okay? I being the actual Giga Chad Verso, okay? Me being the real Verso, okay? No, sorry. Me being the correct Verso, okay? I would be like, bro, you know what? I understand that you guys are grieving, but you guys fucking suck, and I recognize that everyone in here is real to me, okay? I don't care if there are gods. Fuck the gods. I'm gonna still have my Lumiere, and I'm gonna enjoy my fucking French food, okay? I'm gonna enjoy bagels, donuts, and I don't know, tortilla chips or some shit like that. Whatever the French eat, okay? Snails, all right? I'm gonna eat snails tomorrow, and they're gonna taste every bit as real as it is in the outside world. I'm not even interested in the outside world, because that's not my life, right? That's the entire point of Mayel. That's the entire point of Mayel's story, is that her perspective is, oh, I lived half of my life in Lumiere, right? 16 years of my life in Lumiere, but 16 years out there, so I'm 32. Okay, technically 32. Haha, get it, Expedition 33, they're all 32. But, like, the point is that she lived... that doesn't make any
Yes, but she's choosing to live.
Fake.
No, it is because she's choosing to live in the fake life. That's the difference. It's not a coin flip. It's not like she thinks both are the same. It's that she's making the choice to live in the fake one.
Yeah. So, like, the thing is that that's not the... You keep saying it's the fake one.
Mm-hmm.
But fake is a very subjective term.
If fake is subjective, then everything in life is meaningless. That's why I said it was a nihilistic view of reality. If any fictitious world painted by a person is the same as the real world itself, then the real world has no meaning. Life has no value. Nothing has any underlying value.
The reason I say this, the reason I say this is because the way that you use fake is in a way that discredits my argument from the get-go.
Yeah, because the way that you're using real, you're using real.
The way that you ask charged questions, the way that you use, like, the way that you ask me charged questions is that you put the fake part in it inherently.
Yeah, it's all charged. Yes.
Get me to answer that because you automatically try to assume that, but that's the entire problem, is that we're arguing on whether or not it is fake or real.
Yes,
right?
And you're arguing that there's some collection of quality.
Okay.
You're arguing that there's some collection of qualities that can make a thing just as real as another thing. So the argument that you're making is that human life has no fundamental value. It's just a matter of, can we make decisions or have free will, and that's it. And since the things in the painted world can, then any fictitious painted world, all the beings or people in there are going to have the same amount of value as any real life human, because human life has no value. The only thing that has value is some collection of traits or things, which is, I think, is a nihilistic way of viewing the universe.
But what's real to you is, like, whether or not they can pass into the outside world.
Whether or not they go into reality. That's so crazy. The things that are real are things that can go into reality, and things that are fake are just things that can exist in a fake world. That's so crazy to me.
In the Matrix analogy, it's not like every single human has the ability to wake up in the real world, right?
Yes, they do.
By definition, in that universe. No, they don't.
They literally do.
The entire movie.
The entire point is that the people can be woken up. What are you talking about?
Not every... No.
If they take the red pill, anybody can wake up.
Bro doesn't even know the lore. Bro doesn't even know the lore.
Oh, I'm sorry. What, did you watch the Animatrix? Is there some fucking comic?
Yeah, I did. Yes. In the Animatrix, not everyone has the ability or the willpower to wake up in the real world. Sometimes things go wrong and people die. Yes.
Oh, so now it's not that they can't, it's that sometimes things go wrong and people can die.
No, not everyone can wake up in the... This is just... this is just a world-building fact that you don't... Can you... Here, hold on. Let me just Google this for you. Can everybody wake up in the real world in the Matrix? ChatGPT. Okay. All right. No, not everyone can wake up in the real world in the Matrix. Okay, I'm going to screenshot this for you because you're too lazy to search it up yourself, okay? All right, hold on. All right, yes, GPT, okay? Here, there you go. Okay,
and
not everyone can wake up in the real world in the Matrix, okay?
Does everyone in the Matrix have the ability to unplug from the Matrix and come back to the real world?
You're coping so hard. Yeah. No, I literally sent you the screenshot. What more do you want? Okay.
Only people who are born in the real world or extracted young enough can be unplugged safely.
Okay, so not everyone.
Oh, but that's just because their brain can't handle reality or whatever. It's not because they can't. It's just because they're so used to the fake world or whatever.
Yeah, but that still fits your definition of not being able to exit into the real world. Okay, so they're unable to handle reality.
But they started real. These paintings were never a part of the real world ever, and there's still a real body attached to them. It's just a brain that's mind fucked. True.
Awesome. Is there anything else? Dun,
dun, dun, dun, dun, dun.
All right. Yeah. Okay. Any last words?
Oh, I'm gonna be careful.
I think. All right. I love you. All right. Bye. See ya, buddy.
Be careful. Where do I get these stupid fucking baguettes?